All right. Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. All right. Oh, I'm live. Hey, how about that? I am live once again. Okay. Move the screen around. There we go. How's that camera view? That good enough view? It should be. Okay. All right. Gotta turn this wheel on. Let's go do that. All right. Yeah, I got the wrong wheel plugged in. The wrong wheel plugged in. There we go. That'll work. That will work. All right, guys. Here we go. So, hope everybody's doing good. For Saturday Night Live, it's what? 10 o'clock here on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. Oh boy. Hope everybody's doing good. Okay. How much clay I have here? Yeah. Oh, got like nice dry pieces in my clay. That'll make it interesting and fun. All right. What do we got here? Too much. Let's try that. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Lauren, how you doing? Leah. Hey, Leah, how you doing? Good to see you both. It's late at night. But it's Saturday Night Live. Okay? I got a bunch of stuff to make, so I thought, let's just bring everybody on here. At least all of us night owls, anyhow, right? All right. How much are you, Unc? Hey, I am doing great. I am doing great. Have you seen the stuff my daughter's been putting on Facebook? She's pretty creative, that girl. I'm doing a debate tomorrow on Big Channel. Did you see? I did see that. Lauren, you doing good? Oh man, this clay is sticking together. I did see that, Leah, and I plan on watching it. I just have to figure out what time it is. I remember seeing it, Leah, but I don't remember the time. So these are 3-pounders, okay? I got to make a bunch of bowls. 7 p.m. All right. What am I making? I'm making some, I guess you call them, yeah, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Some fruit bowls. So I made this one earlier. So you can wash your berries. Usually call them berry bowls. But yeah. So that's what I'm making. So there you go. So we need to make some of those for my next show. So I'm making a bunch of them. Thank you, Leah. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, you're doing a debate. I will watch it. I really should wedge this clay up a little bit. I'll do that before I throw the piece, I think. Just wedge it a little bit. Let's see. Okay, what do we got here? You're going to be doing your nails, but I'm lurking. Hey, cool. So I hope everybody's having a good Saturday night. Hey, it's an extra long weekend, right? So it makes it even better. I'm surprised, guys. We got a lot of people in here tonight. Awesome. I'm shocked. I'm happy. All right. I have 9 of them made up now, weighed out. So we're ready to make some berry bowls. 3 pounds of clay. You have to go to Doc on Monday. Double tap your screen. Hey, thank you, Leah. All right. I didn't check to see what poundage just last. I have a little bit of clay here left. That's about 1 pound of clay. I could make a little mug out of it real quick. Oop. Since I had a little bit of clay left in that bag, may as well. So we'll just do that real quick, and then we'll move on to our berry bowls. So we have a big show going on in Pennsylvania called the Harrisburg Art Show, which I did not even think about, but I probably should for next year, you know. It's a huge art show they have up in Harrisburg, which is our capital. They have it down by the water. Verticals always bring in more folks. Yeah, they do. They do. They stop in, look for a little bit, and keep moving on. They're the scrollers, you know. The scrollers always need to check things out. They don't usually stay, but they check it out. It's cool to see me at the last show. Oh, cool. Hey, Jax, how you doing? So you got to see me live, Leah, or did you watch the video? I did 2 lives there, I think. Had a person that subscribed that day. And she said she watches YouTube. I'm like, really? I'm on mute live right now. And she's like, really? And she waved to the camera and said hi to everybody. Yeah, what kind of stunk about doing a live there, I couldn't even see my screen. So anybody chatting, I couldn't even see them. Here I have the tablet to my right side, so I can actually see what people are chatting about and comment. But I couldn't do it up there. All right. It's a pretty good sized mug. Yeah, I was there for a live. Cool. Yeah, sorry I couldn't comment or anything, Leah, but it is what it was, you know. But I think everybody enjoyed watching it anyhow. And I'm going to do that again next month at my next show. It's kind of just let everybody see the show and kind of enjoy a little bit with me. And that way they can kind of see what I see and that kind of thing for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do any throwing up there at that show. We shall see if I have room, which I think they're going to give me room. I don't know if they'll have electricity, but they'll give me room. I have a little portable battery thing that I could use. Let's get this out of the way. I don't need that. All right. There we go. Beautiful throwing lines. Just accentuate it a little bit. That looks pretty cool. Clean off the corner of your pots at the bottom. You're going to find that when you take your wire across the bottom, it goes a lot better, as well as it makes it easier to trim if you need to. I try not to do a lot of trimming on my pots, so I cut them off wet right now, and then what I end up doing is I just take a tiny skim cut across the bottom, stamp it, and I'm done. You know, I guess there's some pieces where I spend more time on the bottom, but they're usually larger pieces that I do that with. Mugs, I don't do that with them. There's no sense in it. I put enough time with the mugs, with the handles, and that kind of stuff. So this is one of my larger, little mugs. I call it a little mug, but let's run the wire through one time. And at this point, I really could pick it up off of here, but I don't need to do that. I got enough bats that I don't have to do that. So there is a mug. You'll get a handle on it. That's a different looking mug. Since I only had one piece of clay, I figured let's just do an odd looking mug. So that's what I'm going to do. 1 pound of clay. So there we go. All right, let's do some berry bowls. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I was there for live. I think you all understood, and we talked amongst ourselves. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that everybody did, and they understood. And I knew if one of my mods was on and they heard me say that, I couldn't see the chat, that they had just relayed the message when people asked questions or whatever. So but you could hear the live music, which is pretty cool. which was some really good music actually. That was probably the one good thing there that I liked was the fact that we could see the stage where we were at like perfectly. I mean, it was off in the distance, obviously, but we could see the whole stage, and it was just really a lot of fun just actually just listening to the music, you know. Um, but yeah, will I do the show again? I don't know. You know, it was my first time there. It wasn't a super busy for the vendor, at least down where I was at. Maybe if I can get moved closer to where all the people were coming in, I'd have more traffic. Okay, but where we were set up at, we were kind of off to the side, so people had to really just walk away from the area where the music was at and walk down to us. So that's, I think that's why we didn't have as much traffic. Um, so it wasn't a super successful show. It was successful, just not as successful as I would have hoped with that many people there. Because there were thousands of people there, thousands of people. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, the Bluegrass Festival, if anybody ever gets a chance to go to Pennsylvania to see the Bluegrass Festival, it's actually a really good show. They always have a lot of good people there, a lot of good bands. They have another one coming up in August. I can't go to that one. I'm already scheduled for another show. So, but I was there for 4 days. So it was fun, try it out. And it'd probably be nice if I had a camper or something and just stayed there. But I drove home every day, which is probably about a 40-minute drive. That I drove every day up and back. So we're making berry bowls. I did wedge this clay a little bit, but it's a little wonky. Bring it back down here again. See if I can compress it more. There we go. Now it feels like it's all centered. All right. Well, hello, Cynthia. How you doing, girl? I'm doing great, by the way. It's a 3-day weekend, and I'm having fun with it. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's raining here in Pennsylvania. It rained all freaking day, all day long. It's still raining right now. So Cynthia's asking Leah if you're near Chattanooga. Leah said she is painting her nails. So she's just listening, basically. Probably just listening in. All right. Gatlinburg. You're near Gatlinburg. There we go. That's the shape I want. All right. Okay. There's the first one out of 9 I have to make. Yep, that's a pretty good shape, I think. All right. Well, we started off with a lot of people in here. According to what it's telling me, my sponge dropped on the floor. All right. So what should we talk about tonight? I already got myself all muddy. Okay. The numbers always lie. Yeah, they do, don't they? You would think that YouTube would push artists, you know, but they don't. At least I don't think they do. Maybe I'm wrong. I was going to do a horizontal live. I typically like horizontal lives much better, but you know, you do get a lot more people checking me out in the vertical. So, all right. Let's wedge this clay up a little bit since I didn't wedge it before. So I am booked for every month this year, and sometimes twice in the same month. So pretty busy. And I got to make sure I have enough pots for all these shows. And that's why I started making a bunch of multiples of the same thing. The last show that I was at, I sold a lot of the sponge holders slash scrubby holder, whatever holders for the corner of your sink. Sold a lot of those. Butter bells. People love the butter bells. So, sold those. Sold a few mugs. And, you know, a bowl or two here, you know, here and there. So, and met a lot of cool, interesting people. Busy is good for sure. I wish I had more time. That's the thing is, you know, I'm working a regular job and then doing this in the evenings. It's very difficult. And sometimes it's hard to have that motivation, you know, to come home after working and jump on the wheel and start making stuff. Or doing some trimming or glazing or the multiple tasks that I need to do to get my clay ready and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of work to this. It's just not something that you can walk away from real easily, especially if just throwing things because they tend to dry out on you. If you leave them out too long, they're going to dry out on you. So things have got to stay moving. The good thing is I don't feel the stress. I don't feel any stress. And I think it's because I'm doing something I love to do, you know? I just don't, I feel the urgency to want to get things done, which is cool. I feel like when I'm throwing this stuff, I do a lot of thinking, um, I want to change my booth up a little bit, you know, and how it looks and stuff. So that goes through my mind as well as how I want to set it up. Things I want to do differently with it, like add some lights and stuff and make it look as professional as possible. So I am going to be changing it up that way. Lucky man. I feel lucky. I feel blessed is what I feel. Speaking of lucky, up there was nothing but clover everywhere, right? where we were set up, there's clover everywhere. And my mother was up there, and she's looking around, on the ground and stuff, and she picked 2 4-leaf clovers the time she was there. 2 4-leaf clovers, and they're just hard to find. But she found them. So she was lucky. She was lucky. That's pretty much what I want. All right. Getting all the water out of it. So is anybody else feeling blessed? I'm feeling really grateful to be able to do this, and something I love to do. All day, every day, Uncle. That's good. That's good. That's wonderful to hear. Well, I guess we should all be grateful for being able to spend one more day with our loved ones, right? You know, and I guess be grateful that we have the families that we do and the people in our lives that we do. I know I am definitely grateful for everyone in my life. I'm grateful to have my mother still here. Because she had a bout with cancer and beat it. And she's doing very well. So I'm thankful to have her still around. My father is still around. My biological father, is still around. My stepfather had passed. So, but my biological father is still around, still kicking, still rides a bicycle every single day. A couple years ago, he told me, he said he put 4,000 miles on his bike and in a year, which is a lot because most people don't put that. That's a lot of miles on a bicycle that he put on. You know what I mean? So he rides a lot. Now he lives in Florida, so that makes it easier because it's all flat. Up here in Pennsylvania, when you go riding on a bicycle, it's either uphill or it's downhill. That's just the way it is. I know because I've done it. I'd like to get back to doing it because it was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it, being out in the fresh air and just pedaling. Lucky I missed my mom every single day, and she's gone 2 years now on the 22nd. Leah, that is sad, that your mother's gone. I hope to keep mine around a lot longer, but you just never know. You never know. It's there, people in our lives are here and gone. And there's so many people that don't even think about that or appreciate the fact that they have them here, It's like they're, I don't know. They don't realize how quickly things can change. But just for instance, my boss, the person that owns the company that I work for, he passed away. He had cancer. He fought it, and he lost his battle to it. So on Wednesday, we all, went to the funeral service for him. But it's funny because at the beginning of the year, man, he was gung ho. He was, just like a normal person, and just that quick how things can change. And that's why we really should all be grateful for every day that we do have on this earth, to do things that we love to do and to spend time with the loved ones that, that are around us. And, live each day like it's your last, because it could be, And it's sad when we lose loved ones. So spend as much time as you can with them. I'm very happy that my mother spent every day up there with me at that show. A lot of fun with her, I don't know how many of those days I'll have, so it's good to be able to do that. Blessed that she's still here, that we couldn't do that. So as many health problems as my mother had, it's a miracle that she was able to meet my babies, and I'm so grateful for that. That is wonderful that she got to meet her grandchildren, I'm glad that she was able to do that for sure. And if she had a lot of ailments, I can understand how that must feel, because it's one of those moments where, you want them around, but at the same time, they're in pain or whatever, they're not feeling well. And So it's almost like you feel bad for wanting to keep them around, but yet you feel bad that they're in pain at the same time, or whatever, and they're battling something, and so it's almost like you want what's best for them, you know. But gratefully, she got to meet your her grandchildren. And besides Leah, I think she's probably looking down anyhow. She's watching you. She's taking care of you. She's still with you. I had a lady at the show, and she bought a piece off of me. Well, a couple pieces actually, but I stood there and talked with her for a while, and it's funny how people just open up to you, and maybe that's just the empath in me. I don't know, but she just started talking about her husband and how he has health problems and stuff like that, and that he's doing better now, but he's still is battling his problems and whatever they were. She didn't really go into much detail with them, but um she talked about all that, and that's his name was Greg. I asked for his name. She said his name was Greg, and I said, well, ma'am, I said, I will pray for your husband Greg, that he gets better soon, and recovers soon. And she looked at me and just said, you could see it in her face. She looked at me and just said, thank you. And because you never really know how somebody's going to take it when you say anything about God. I'm an open book when it comes to that God, so you'll hear that on this channel quite a bit if you're new here. But but she just, it was kind of like she was shocked in a way that a stranger would say that. And it just I don't know. I think more people need to be that way. I think more people need to care about more people. I just saw on YouTube, there's Fox thing that showed up. It said something about 2,500 people just got water baptized in the ocean, or I guess it's been the ocean down there. Just got water baptized. 2,500 people. That's amazing. That is just simply amazing. And they showed aerial footage of it and everything. And the beach was just packed full of people. I thought, isn't that amazing that many people were baptized like that? They don't know each other, Those people don't know each other. Well, I'm glad that you do. I know what you do, Leah. And I do too, And then I got to thinking when I saw that post, started thinking, I've never been water baptized like that. Well, I mean, my parents, baptized me when I was a baby. Okay. Like many of us probably have been. And I just thought to myself, that's something that I would like to do. Whether it be in a river, a creek, I don't care where, but just to be water baptized, and born again. I think that would be pretty special. So I think what I'm going to do is search out for something like that and probably get that done. Now, I don't think my wife will do it because she's Catholic. But it doesn't stop me from doing that. I've never been a churchgoer, though, to be honest with you. I've never liked church. My mom usually had to get me kicking and screaming to even go to church, I mean, she would make me go to Bible school and that kind of thing, to learn about God. And I just never liked it. I think that's the thing of it is, I never felt like God was there, if that makes any sense. Just never felt like God was there. And I've been to many churches too. I've been to a lot of them. And, I've been to churches that, people were speaking in tongues and stuff. And I'm like, what's this person doing? Because this doesn't seem normal to me. It doesn't actually seem right to me. But what do I know? I don't know what's going through the person's mind or mouth. I have no idea. It just didn't seem right. That's all. That's all I'm saying. To me, that's what I feel. But I mean, I've spent a lot of time growing up in the woods. That's where I spent, I don't know, probably if I wasn't at school or I wasn't sleeping, I was probably in the woods. I mean, that's where I felt as though that's where God was amongst everything he created. That's where I felt natural. I felt like that's exactly where he was. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. That's just how I felt closer to him. And I think maybe we all kind of get to a point where we find that happy place where we do feel God. I think he meets us, at our own places, our own in our own thoughts and stuff. He finds a place to meet us, and we feel it. And so everybody's different, but that's where I felt God the most. I'm sure that there's people that feel God in church. I don't doubt that they do. It's just not where I felt him. we got on that discussion. We were up at that show with my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, he was always in the woods." Well, that's I would camp out in the woods all by myself. I would just that's where I'd go. I'd pitch a tent, make a campfire, cook my food on the campfire. I spend the whole day back there, day and night. But mom knew where she could find me. Usually right. Yeah, I mean, it. So what I'm going to end up doing with my booth is I'm going to put Bible verses that mean something to me. I'm going to put them on the inside, like there's probably be one on each upper level. I'm going to put a Bible verse, and we'll see how people react to that. Because I give God all the glory for this, every bit of it. He's the one that created this ability in me to do this, and I'm going to use it to benefit him. I give him all the glory to my ability to be able to do this. And just like every pot that I make, I ask that he uses these pieces to influence the people who buy them and to help them, that the piece helps them in some way through him in my piece. I have it wrapped around me, and there was a moment where all the pain went away. I stopped shaking because of the blood loss, and I had violently shaking. Just calmly told Ryan I loved him. Freaked him right out. Well, it just happens, right? It just happens that way. No. So if you landed on this channel and you're new, please give me a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you like watching somebody throw some pots, this is a good channel for you. It's very relaxing channel. Almost like AMSR. I'm making berry bowls. And Leah, I have your piece coming here soon. It should be my next kiln firing because I have some taller pieces now that I can fire with the dolphin. Because the dolphin is very tall. I mean, it's tall. It's like this tall. But I have to have pieces to fire with it in order to take up that amount of space in the kiln. So that's why it's been sitting on the shelf so long, is because I really haven't had taller pieces to fire with it. So now that I do, she's going to get fired. She's going to get fired and look pretty. At least I hope it looks nice. But I will take a picture of it and text it to you whenever I do that. Whenever it comes out of the kiln, I'll take a picture and send it to you. And I already have your address, so I will send it to you. Yep, the dolphin. You need a berry bowl for your mother-in-law. She got a new place, and that would be beautiful. Oh, cool. Well, we can do that too. I'm going to have several of them. All right. Okay. That one's done. That's only 4 so far. Man, I need to speed up here a little bit. Did I do that? Yeah, I did that. Okay. I like to roll that bottom down. It helps for the fingers to grab a hold of the bottom. So I put a little thing that comes out. Allows your fingers to latch onto it. Okie dokie. Another belly bow. All right. I'll end up having 10 of these total because I have one on the shelf right now. So it makes me nervous to travel. So, oh, she'll be wrapped up real good for sure. But I don't use bubble wrap. I only use natural materials from shipping because I don't like plastic. Okay, I don't like wrapping stuff in bubble wrap and stuff because it never goes away. I feel like half the time it doesn't get recycled. So I use paper, but she'll be wrapped up real nice. She'll make it to Tennessee. If she doesn't, I'll just have to make another one, which I actually have 6 of them started. So, get over here. You know what you're doing. Live. I will open it on live and advertise you. Well, that's cool. Well, she'll be just fine. Well, trust me. If she's not, we'll make it right. I've already sent a lot of packages to places, and blessed be to God that every one of them landed perfectly with no problem. So I'm sure she'll make it. We aren't even putting out that she won't. Exactly. No, it's going to make it for sure. So if you're new here, you landed on this page, this channel, please give me a like, a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. I have more than 100 videos already that you can watch on the channel. If you're new here, say hello in the chat. It's good to talk to new people that are here. We're making berry bowls tonight. I have 9 of them to make. This is the 5th one. They have to get holes in them. Once they become leather hard, I put holes in them so that you can wash your berries in the bowl. Gotta stop hitting the rim. Every time I hit the rim, it just goes wobbly. Press the rim out real nice. Like that. Make sure the shape is exactly what I want. I got to put a foot on here. Just like that. I got a tool that helps me put that foot on. Makes it much easier for me and much faster. Put my little swirl on the bottom of it. So many people like to see that swirl. Take the water out of it so she dries nicely. Clean the water up outside so my bat's not so dirty for next time I try to use it. And cut it off. Cut through a piece once. I see people going through multiple times to cut a piece off. I'm not sure I understand that. I've never had to do that. Anyhow, so there's a berry bowl. He'll get trimmed up a little bit on the wheel over there. He'll get holes put in it so that he can drain nicely. So that's number 5. Try to get the clay off myself as much as I can because my wife would not be happy putting clay through her washing machine. I'd be buying a washing machine for her. That would not be nice to do. I don't have the money to do that. So all right. Get some more clay. Thank you, Leah. There we go. Okay. Clay is dry. Why are you so dry? Why are you so dry? Shouldn't be dry. There we go. Clean the water out of the inside of this thing. Let's put that foot on the bottom. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. I think the shape is pretty good. Yep. All right. Let's clean the bat up a little bit. Okay. Clean the wheel up just a little bit. Run my wire through. All right. Number 6 done. There we go. Yep, that's a perfect shape. All right. Get over here. There we go. Okay. Another berry bowl. All right. All right. Anybody knows what I'm doing here is I check to see if the bat that where I'm putting on is actually flat. Typically what happens with these things is you put your pot on one side and it dries and then it tends to warp the bat a little bit. So you typically I have to flip it over to be able to use it. So you see me doing that and going across my finger and seeing how flat the bat is. Oh, lightning. We've had a lot of rain here, but we haven't had any like real stormage coming through. I did not wedge this piece of clay. I can feel little pockets of air. I'm trying to get them out right now. So this is a form of wedging on your wheel where you cone up your clay, you bend it over slightly and force it down onto itself. And what happens is you tend to work out any air pockets that are in your clay when you do this. And it also actually helps center the clay. I do it a lot simply for air pockets, air bubbles. But it does help get the molecules and the clay platelets going in the right direction. So it does help you when it comes to throwing to do this. Helps the clay centering for sure. Yep, here. Tornado time. Oh my. I'm glad we don't get them up here. Let's get this thing wet. All right. So I have one more to do yet tonight. And then I will officially have 10 berry bowls. Which should be plenty. I mean, I would imagine it would be plenty. I mean, in my booth, I can't fit all my pottery in it. I just don't have that much space. You're talking a 10 by 10 area, and I try to utilize as much of that space as I can. But to really have that many berry bowls sitting out at one time, it's probably not practical. You know what I mean? But at least I'll have them available. As soon as one gets sold, I have a spot for another one. So that's how it's going to go. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to have to put holes in each of these. That one bowl, I don't think I trimmed the bottom of it like I did the other ones. I missed that bowl? I must have missed that. I can do it later though. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. The other ones are done though. That one I just didn't put my little foot on it like I do the other ones. There. All right. Now it's centered. Let's turn it into a bowl. All right. There we go. Here we go. All right, am I doing a live tomorrow? I don't know. Probably. I probably should do a live trimming these up and putting holes in them, because that really is the next step. So we'll see. Maybe I will. I don't think there's anything going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Sunday, I guess. I definitely probably could. So all right. Perfect. That will do. There's 9 bowls. I don't think anybody really sees me trim it all because I don't do a lot of it. These, however, will have to be trimmed. So maybe I should do a live tomorrow. Whenever these are set up enough, I'm going to leave them uncovered all night. So hopefully they do dry a little bit more. And then I could trim them. If they're not dry enough, I could probably just throw something in the wheel. Lord knows I got plenty to do. I got to make some oil bottles. If you go live, I mean, yeah, I know. After the debate, there's an open panel, so it'll probably be there until 10 or 10:30. But I want to see you. Okay, yeah. Well, so if you're on at 7, if I do it earlier than that, then it won't be a problem. I definitely should. Yeah, you're right. I probably should. Maybe I should do it. I don't know. After lunch, maybe go live. Could do that. I haven't done any morning ones. I'm not much of a morning person, but I typically try to sleep in on the weekends just to gather up some of the sleep I haven't had. So I would say if I'm going to go live, it'll probably be afternoon, like 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. So look for me then. And maybe I will do a live then. So this is cool. 2 bags of clay going already. Oh my goodness! I gotta make some more up so I can throw some more. So I have some of these. So this is what we made tonight. And this is what I've got to make. I got to make more of these oil bottles for cooking. So we got to make those. The shape seems to be okay. I might change the shape up a little bit. Maybe not have to be so big, you know. But they do shrink a little bit, right? So it's 12.5%. They shrink. So it looks big right now, but it'll probably shrink, about yay high, roughly. It'll come in obviously a little bit more. So I've got to make these as well. So I now have 10 of these available as soon as I put the holes in the other ones. And then I'll have to make 10 of these. And then I know I have to make, doggone it. Yeah. So I have to make a bunch of sponge holders again. And I have to make a bunch of butter bells again. So I need to do them too. Yep. Gonna be busy. Busy. I wish I could be in multiple places at one time. That'd be pretty cool. Split me out, All right. Enough of talking, I guess. It is but midnight. So, but I appreciate anyone stuck around. Leah, Cynthia, Laurel was here, I think, but she split off probably. But anyhow, thank you everybody for sticking around from this live. Appreciate you. And I'll probably see you tomorrow, sometime afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. All right, Miss Leah. We shall see you later. Good night, all. God bless.